What's
Bow,
up?
bow, 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 bow.
The guys in room 619, we're back.
We did it. We survived another week.
I see you rocking after 1-1.
Hey, I got my Bulls City shirt. I got my hat. You know what? Screw it. Oh shit! I'm knocking stuff over. My scarf's coming off the wall. Duval.
It was an excellent game.
I don't even care. Oh, we almost skipped the intro again. You do it this time. There's no rules.
No, you gotta do it. I gotta do the tweet.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. All
You're
right.
better
Hey,
at it.
we're back again, guys, in 619 with the Leftovers DFS show. We are I'm Zach, and this is Dennis. Come on down.
I'm
Anyways,
here, Fran.
Price is Right humor for anyone who didn't get it.
I did. I've been on that show, just not as a contestant.
I forgot that you did that. That's so cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah. Well, anyways, here in room 619 with the Leftovers DFS, we like to form our opinions on lots of things. Podcast, Twitter, eye test, big one. We're just pooling it all together to try and to survive here, man. Keep the bankroll going and have some fun doing it, because that's it sounds stupid, but that's the most important part, because this is our most. I almost said most favorite. Yeah, I almost said most favorite, and I said most and froze, and I was like, no, don't say favorite, you fucking idiot. And I didn't know what to say, and I sold myself out.
You damn goof.
So, anyways, we're gonna talk about football.
We are. It's what we do.
All right, take it away.
All right. So I'm really excited to start the show as normal. Mostly because I finally hit my cash line.
Dennis is off the schneid.
Off the
just
schneid, first
like
time.
The Jaguars.
I mean, I hope I win more often than Jags. No offense, Zach.
I would hope that for you too.
But yeah, so thank you, Jonathan. Based Taylor, you're the man.
Yeah.
Very grateful for you, my friend.
Yeah, I need to jump in for a second. It was my worst weekend of the year so far. I cashed in my PGA lineups. Little side hustle on some golf action, and that was it. Oh no, I had a Millie lineup give me a little bit back too, but nothing crazy. So yeah, really bad week for me. We'll get into that somewhere later.
Yeah. So it was a fun week. Only because of cash. The games are kind of boring, if I'm being honest. It wasn't the best week of football.
No, it really wasn't.
And I'm sad we're already to week 7. That makes me very, very disappointed. Grateful we have an extra week this year, so it's really like week 6. That's what I'm going to tell myself.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Good way to look at it.
Right. So I think reactions. I think there's only one place to start in the fantasy community, and it's King Henry. I think he might be God Henry.
At this point, I think the promotion is due.
Like, what's a king to a god? What's a god to a king? Like, he's just on a different level. I hate myself for passing on him so much in best ball drafts. I'm an idiot. I saw the writing on the wall, and I've never been a big King Henry guy, and so I didn't really want to buy in. But dude is just, and he's catching passes. It's his world.
To not take him in best ball seems crazy because of just how, like, when his games go off. I didn't play any best ball, so I have no frame of reference here.
Well, like, it was starting with McCaffrey was like the clear 1, Cook was the clear 2, and then after that it was all kinds of like, do you go Kamara? Do you go Henry? Do you go Zeke? I was a big Eckler guy, which is paid off.
Except this week he fucked me.
Yeah, he got you good, chicken fucker. But I was Eckler or Kamara, which Kamara hasn't been good, but I've been going Eckler if I couldn't get Cook or Caffrey early on. But I was wrong. Should have gone Henry all day, and I could have gotten him in a lot of places. But I don't feel I was alone, so it makes me okay. You're muted.
Second week in a row I faded him, and I'm a moron. So this week I am not.
Well, luckily he was in the Monday night game, but I did fade him in my showdown lineup.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So I'm only a half moron. Okay, cool.
Right.
Thanks.
But I do a GPP, so it's, I'm playing one single entry, so I'm just hoping I'm going contrarian every time. So, it is what it is. Yeah. Anywho, I was dead on again about Mr. Garbage Time. That's all he is. I swear to God. Hurts is not good. I will hands down stand by that.
It's the same thing every game.
He's good for fantasy, but how long is he going to keep that job?
You see him near the beginning, and he looks okay on the scripted, the scripted drive. And then as the game goes on, he's not that great. And then, the second half wears on, and he racks up some points, and he hits value.
Right. So
he's honestly Mr. Value, because if you look at his game log, he's hit. I mean, he it's like somewhere between 19 and 22 every week. I think it's really consistent.
Yeah, I mean, redraft wise or DFS wise, he makes sense this year. But yes. I'm just still totally out on Dino. I guess while I'm talking about Mr. Garbage Time, I should probably talk about Mr. Garbage Voice.
Why are you talking about dinosaurs?
Good question. I call it Dino. I'm always
Velociraptor.
Did we just become best friends?
A long time ago, my friend.
What's your favorite magazine? Non-pornographic magazine to masturbate to?
Good housekeeping.
But anyway, Mr. Garbage Voice. I apologize for my voice. I lost it first couple days back at work, and it's bad. Having to talk to that mask is a problem.
Dennis is a teacher.
I am middle school.
So he does lots of talking. I fix restaurant equipment, so I go and fix things, and then I tell the person what I did, and I could tell them Rick and Morty stuff, and they'd probably be like, "Oh, okay, thanks." I could probably be like, "Yeah, I just went ahead and replaced the microverse battery and tightened up your flim flam transistor," and they'd probably be like, "Sweet, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank God we had you."
Yeah. Oh wow, how come nobody else mentioned the flim flam?
All right. To more of our Cliff Note reactions. Some question marks and exclamation marks. Colts, are they? I know you're biased, but try to eliminate that part. Are they okay? Do you think they're gonna make the playoffs?
I think when it's all said and done, they'll be in the hunt.
Mm-hmm.
With the chance to make a run somewhere to do it.
I think if their defense can be what we kind of thought they were gonna be, they can. But
yeah,
Buckner hasn't been as good. I saw his pass rush win rate was kind of at that they always have the median line. He was kind of right in the median where it's he's not bad, but they need him to be good.
Absolutely.
So I think the Colts they're impressing me on offense. They finally gave JT. He got 65% of the snaps, which is still stupid. But it makes look sense. What he can do with that.
It's the frustrating part because it's why I faded him in cash was just because I was scared of Frank Reich giving him the ball 40% of the snaps or something stupid.
You were right in the first half.
Yeah, exactly. And I was feeling great about it. And all of a sudden he rips off that dragon and boom, it's over. And he gets 30 points and I lose.
Mm-hmm. He wasn't highly owned, so I was very, very happy about that. Panthers, they're in trouble if they don't get McCaffrey back.
Yeah.
Sammy D is just, kind of is who we thought he was, but at the same time, if you have, and was he making $17 million running back, and he's out, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's the foundation of your offense.
Yeah, regardless of the argument of whether he should be paid that much, you're paying that guy to be the main part of your offense. Yeah, like you said. So yeah, to not have it, you're really hamstrung.
And plus he's just special in so many different ways. And I was on the Panthers wagon. I still think they're good because I believe in that defense. But yeah, I'm worried.
Hey, they're 0-3 since they traded for CJ Henderson, just saying.
He's killing the culture.
Yeah. Bringing down their vibes.
Next, we got Browns. Are they like people had them as like top tier AFC? I know they're beat up, but like,
dude, it's weird. Well, they're coming off that game with the Chargers, and that's a game where they shouldn't be giving up 42 40. What was it? They gave 47, 42, 47. Yeah, like that defense. If they're going to be the team that we thought they would be, that's the kind of shit they can't be doing.
And I don't know. We'll talk about him later, but like Myles Garrett is killing it. Is Denzel Ward not good? Because he was supposed to
honestly,
kind of take that next. I don't know either. I haven't looked into that, but I also haven't seen him listed in the groups or he was listed in the offseason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he was the dude who, you know, I mean, everyone knew Myles Garrett was that guy, but with Ward, it was like, damn, if he hits, they're gonna have that dude at both levels.
And they got that safety
defense
from the Rams.
Johnson, saying that defense is gonna kill it, and then
Jadeveon Clowney. So,
Mr. Two-Man. I kind of feel for the guy, but not because he's made so much money. But like, I don't know, like everyone, you hear the name, maybe not so much anymore, but it's like he's the premier pass rusher, but like he never really was that dude. But like when he's been the compliment, he's amazing.
Yeah, he's a really good number 2. Which is a good thing to have. That's an awesome thing to have. You know, it's just, he was hyped to be, you know, a Myles Garrett, and he's not.
Yeah, he just wasn't. Yeah.
Titans we kind of left them for dead. Are they?
I did.
Dead? Are they not dead?
I'm gonna chalk this one up as the NFL is weird.
True that.
That's what that Monday night game felt to me like. The NFL is just weird.
I just have the Bills on such a pedestal. I don't care, even with the NFL being weird. Like, that's a great win.
No, it absolutely is. And to come to put that one out there from where they were, so I mean, especially since they lost the damn Jets, that's
I'm just happy my boy AJB is looking good. Even while he's shitting his brains out, he's still out there just.
Did you see the picture he put on Instagram?
Yeah, it was the flu game where he had Pippen with Henry's face on it, holding MJ, and he had his face on MJ. Kind of
like that's legendary.
Kind of a little putting the cart in front of the horse, right? But I love it because that's my guy.
The point was there.
Right. That's my dude. Exclamation marks. This one hurts. The Bears' offense is ass. Like, like I hate Nagy. I hate the whole offensive coaching staff. Like, I hope they stub their toe every day for the rest of their life, or at least until they're fired.
I saw a
stat
for
200 yards.
Oh God!
They haven't passed for 200 yards.
The thing I saw was they're like
2010, and it was like the Titans. Like 2010 Titans was the last team not to do that in the first 6 games.
That's awful. It was like the Bears are like 30th in points or 30th in your yards per game. Like there was listed all a bunch of stats of how poor their offense is, and then it said at the bottom, "This is year 4."
Yep. I said all offseason that Nagy needed to be fired, so I don't like. They did this to their own damn selves. You want to bash Fields, you can. He's had plenty of things to be bashed about. I still 100% believe. And I just think that this is just a horrible situation. Like Greg Olsen was showing it. Like they're like, none of these dudes are open. Help your rookie. Like this is it was 3rd and long in a 4-down situation. It could clear a 4-down situation. Like get some of it. And they nobody.
I saw that.
Nobody was. It was all deep routes. Like
what are you doing?
Blows.
Yeah.
Like, but with this QB, with this O-line, with these wide receivers, the coaching staff needs to develop a plan that can work. So I guess Nagy was right that he should have benched Fields only because he's not capable of developing a plan that will work, and that's on him. So he's not right because he's smart. He's right because he's a fucking idiot.
Thank you for coming to Dennis's TED Talk.
I'm a little heated about it.
That was a good TED Talk. But
damn.
Yeah, it's embarrassing that this guy's in his 4th year and he's supposed to be some offensive whiz. And, the holdback was, it was Trubisky, which, fair, I guess. But,
yeah, it is.
But it looks worse.
It's because the talent.
Can we?
They keep running low on talent now.
Can we cue the Sarah McLachlan music and play highlights of A-Rob?
You don't want to hear me singing, but I will remember you.
All of the highlights of A-Rob getting just junk passes thrown to him in his career.
We need to move on. Well, I'll be here too long.
Yeah.
Cards. Let's talk about somebody I do love. Kyler Murray, the Cardinals. Like, even in a bad game, they beat the shit out of the Browns.
Yeah, and they're unstoppable on offense because of him. And then that defense is damn legit.
And they did that without Chandler Jones.
Yeah. And, man, to have J.J. Watt as your number 2 guy now, like at this point in his career, it's the perfect role for him. And the fact that he's willing is like really cool too. But yeah, they're killing it. They easily deserve number 1 on the power rankings. I remember, I don't know who I heard was talking about, well, I don't care if you're undefeated or 1 loss, I'm not putting you on just because you're undefeated. And it's like, well, in this case, like they're freaking good.
You're judging. It's like that common thing, like don't scout the helmet, scout the player.
Yeah.
You are 100% scouting the helmet, not the team, if you're not buying into the cards.
I agree with that statement.
All right. The last one is just the Rams. I think they're gonna beat the shit out of Detroit this week. I think this is gonna be a really fun game to watch if you just like watching a bully, because I think they're gonna bully them.
Yes. That's all there is to that. That's another team that's just damn good. Although they have some question marks on defense. They do look as good as I thought they should have.
That offense is just a wagon.
Oh, I know.
And Henderson's been good. I don't know. I like watching the Rams. They're a fun team to watch.
No, they're really good.
They need to use the old throwback unis, though. They need to use them like every single week. If they did that, they'd be undefeated.
The bone ones are actually kind of cool. Now that I've seen them, I think they're okay.
I disagree. Hard pass there. That's a booking opinion. All right. Speaking of booking, Thursday night football. Yuck.
Yeah.
This is gonna be bad.
We were just talking real fast before the show, and I'm big time out on this. Like, I just have no interest in this game. You can Thursday throws you some of the shittiest games, and this is like the king of the crap. And it's a product of the injuries, but still. Definitely. Oh my God. Like I just have zero interest in this. I'll go bet some NBA games and watch some basketball over this.
It's not a bad call. So Browns are somehow so favored. I was surprised when you told me that. The over-under is 41. That's a low under. That's a really low under.
I know, but Broncos defense is so good.
It hasn't been expected, though.
Yeah, that is a really low number. But I guess if I were to play something, and maybe I'll talk myself out, what, screw it, I'm going to do it. I'll play Broncos +2 because, when I looked at the line, I was like, how is Cleveland still favored here? Like, you're the team who's decimated with injuries playing the better defense.
Right. Their top 2 running backs, which is like their whole team is out. I don't believe it. D'Ernest Johnson, I'm fading him. I didn't even go for him in our redraft league pickup. I went for James Conner.
Yeah.
So I do like one bet just because I'm a homer, and it's Javonte Williams over 46.5 yards. He's broken 30-plus yard runs, 3 different games so far. That's a pretty low number. especially if it's like a grounded out time to pick game. I think it's a decent play. I love it. I would not give it the boom.
That's fair. I think that's a distinction that is important. This is what I'm playing, but it ain't the juice.
So let's just move on because that game's just ULGY. You ain't getting an alibi.
Yeah, I'm already over it.
Okay. I do have some Sunday slate bets I like. I like Cincinnati plus 6.5 at Baltimore.
Agreed.
I like them to keep it close.
That's one of mine.
Oh, really? Sweet.
Divisional game.
Yeah.
Both teams are playing well. You're 1-2 in the division. This has all the makings of a scratch and claw game.
Yeah, I know. Last team to win gets a field goal kind of game.
Yeah, and 6.5 just seems like way too much here.
I agree. The next one, I already mentioned it. I like the Rams minus 14 versus Detroit. I know that's huge, but they're at home. It's Stafford revenge game. Cincinnati just blew the doors off Detroit. They might be giving up, that kind of thing. I just like it. I think they're going to do well.
Yeah, I think at some point that Lions team is going to crumble because they've been so close and they just keep getting their hearts ripped out. And at some point, like, if that doesn't, get turned around, like, that's like just mentally exhausting.
Right. I got it. You got to imagine that's like really, really hard on them. So like I said, I love the Rams. I might play their team total too. The last one I like is Green Bay minus 8 versus Washington. I know that's a big play, but that defense is so bad. And the Packers, like, trust me, just as someone that's watched the Packers a lot, like when they can smell blood in the water, like that's what Rodgers does.
And it's in Lambeau too. I like that. 7.5. I don't think that is too insane of a number because the Packers are like actually playing some defense this year.
And when they played like bad teams like the Bears or the Lions, like they've covered that.
Yeah, I don't think that's too much of a stretch here.
All right. Okay. Do you have any other ones for Sunday you didn't mention?
I actually like Jets plus 7 for the same reasons I mentioned the Bengals and Ravens is a divisional game. This is your second matchup of them too already, which is a big thing.
I thought that too.
Second time division matchups tend to be more slugfest, closer games, and usually not as fantasy appealing. So go ahead.
So in our redraft, I typically don't go waiver because ours is the rolling. So whenever you use a waiver acquisition, you go to the bottom. So I try not to do it for defense. I try to just wait and then drop it,
Yeah.
I actually used one because I have Cowboys defense, sadly. And so I went for New England, not because I think that it's going to be like just like the last game. I just think it's going to be a really low scoring game. I think Jets defense, Rob Saleh, his second time at Mac Jones too,
Yeah. And the Jets, they're showing some scrap. I mean, they're not a total pushover like we thought. I mean, they were the first few weeks, but they appear to have some solid coaching.
No, I like that. And you get the 7, so it's a push if it's a touchdown. I like that.
Yeah.
Do you have any others?
Well, one, I don't know, man. It's hard. I'm not going to probably play anything right now because I initially liked Dolphins plus 2.5 on the Falcons. But if Tua gets traded and they're playing Brissett again, I don't want that.
Yeah. I don't know what to believe because now everyone's saying it's false.
Yeah, I know. I've heard that too. But like if Tua's playing and if I knew Tua was in for sure, I'm taking Dolphins plus 2.5 and I'm slapping the juice on that.
Yeah. We'll get to it, but I like the Dolphins in this matchup. I like their skill players.
Yeah.
Do you want to get to it?
Yeah, dude. That was the last one I got.
All right. Jumping right away, my top cash play, it's Jaylen Waddle. You and I are both Waddle dudes. Until I really dove into Chase's tape, Waddle was my wide receiver 1. I love the dude. I think he's just electric. I think he's so talented in so many different ways.
His game at Alabama wasn't predicated on one skill set, like a lot of college receivers, like a lot of them are. And I mean, he was able to burn guys deep. He was able to catch the ball and get yak. He was able to get open himself with some savvy routes. Like, yeah, big fan. Caused a big stir in our league. Getting him, had a lot of fun with that. Still have a lot of fun with that. I'm a Waddle guy.
His average touchdown at Alabama was over 40 yards.
Oh, whoa!
Average, yeah. Now he had some kickoff and punt returns, but still average. Yeah. Plus he's 5.6K, so not unreasonable. And in the 2 games that Tua has played and finished, he averages 22.5.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's a small sample size, but like it's not like Atlanta's a good defense. Who scares you on that defense?
No one.
So that's my top cash play. I'm probably gonna have him everywhere. I'm starting. I feel like I keep every week I fall in love with like a 5K wide receiver that like it's so easy for them to get 4 or 5 times value. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And even if they suck, like as long as they get like 10, it's not gonna kill you.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Waddle. I also will be playing him in my cash line. Well, assuming Tua's in.
Yes, that's a big part because him and Tua, I mean, they went to college together, but they do. They vibe. Yeah. It's clear. Like, watch the games; they look great together.
Yeah.
My next one, I'm sure it's one of yours. We've talked about it. It's Devante Adams for 8.9. Yes. He kills it in bounce back weeks. I nailed that fade. I will take that victory lap. If there's one good thing about the Bears, it's Jalen Johnson. And he did get burned at the release point once on Adams, but I think that's a huge win.
I would say, who doesn't?
You know? And so he's 8.9, which is a lot, but the dude is the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy for a reason.
Yeah.
He eats. And last one is Rashad Bateman, another one of my favorite dudes. He, for a while, took over wide receiver 1 for me in the preseason.
I remember that.
And then I had to come back and say, no, it's Chase. It's Chase. I was trying to be contrarian. It's Chase. And then after the draft, Waddle jumped him. But Bateman was still my wide receiver 3. He's 3.4, mad cheap, super helpful if you're trying to get in Adams, and I'm sure one of your cash guys. He got 6 targets last week, which is awesome. And he only ran routes on 67% of their passing plays. So I'm sure that jumps up as he gets, more acclimated, better off the injury, that kind of thing.
Agreed. And I think Lamar having another big target to actually like be able to rely on aside from Andrews will be very, very helpful. And like you're saying, I mean, 3.4, he went for 4 for 28 last week, and that's 6.9. That's nice. That was 4 for 29. Sorry, I said that wrong. So yeah, 6.9. Nice. So like you said, we're looking for triple. I mean, that's double. And at the price point, you're only 3.4 points behind the money. So yeah,
we'll like get to it, but that was a weird game for the Baltimore offense. A very, very weird game.
Yeah.
All right, you got some cash plays?
Yeah, I have 2, because you covered some of mine as well. Like most of the time,
we're very similar this week.
But yeah, Derrick Henry. No need to say more, other than they're playing the Chiefs. If they're going to be in that game, it's because he's doing work. But also, shout out to Ian Harritz on Twitter. I don't know if you follow him. He has a thing he posts every week where it's like basically like comparing a team's run blocking versus their team they're playing's defensive line. And this week rates out very well for the Titans. So I think that's a no-brainer. They're just giving him the ball constantly. He is able to just break one for a touchdown anytime, maybe more than any player we've ever watched.
Well, and like that was my one thing I said to my buddy at work. I was like, the Bills, like great defense, like they had one job. You can't let him bust the dragon run on you.
Yeah.
And they did. And as soon as that happened, that's when that game lost control for the Bills. They were because they drove down and got 2 field goals, they got stopped, but they were dominating. And then all of a sudden they let him get that dragon, and then it's like, oh, here we go, boys. Here we go. It's like a kickoff return or a pick six. You know what I mean? So and sorry, real fast. How is he not 10K? I don't get that.
I don't know.
Plus, he catches passes now, so you can't even be afraid of him getting game scripted out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not fair. And at this point, I think the only way I'm fading him in a cash game is if it's just like a absolute nightmare matchup. But even then, I don't know. How do you do it until he proves you wrong?
The Bills was a nightmare matchup.
That's what I'm saying now. That as soon as I said that, I was like, fuck, the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so why not just do it until you lose?
Especially if Caffrey's out, Cook's on a bye, right? Am I wrong there? I don't think he's in the main
Vikings on this slate.
He's not in the main slate for sure. I'm with you 100%.
I just think this week you have to start. No Eckler. You got to start Henry and Adams and just figure it out from there. That's got to be where all the chalk is.
Yeah.
Well, I bet you Hill can't be chalk because everyone's going to play for Devante, right? like
Well, I'm kind of hoping that the KC guys eat against each other.
Yeah.
Casey's going to score. He's going to hope that one dude doesn't go off for like 40.
Yes. Well, that's what happened last week. It got split up a lot.
Mm-hmm. That's what we need. Maybe Mahomes runs one in, something like that.
The other one I like is J.D. McKissick. He's exactly cash. 5K. Even if Gibson plays, I still like him.
They like him better in passing situations.
Yeah, exactly.
We already mentioned we think Green Bay is going to roll.
Yeah, so I think the game script sets up perfectly for McKissick. And then not to mention if Gibby's out, damn.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, as the guy who likely is going to be catching dump offs in a game where they're way behind, 15 points is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's a pretty cheap guy to slot in with Henry. So you're looking at those two for, a little under 15K or whatever.
No, I like that a lot. Well, we'll get to it later about that.
Yeah.
Any other cash guys? Are you good?
Those are the ones I'm sure. So, I mean, it's Wednesday. Things change sometimes. Like last week, I was zeroed in on Taylor, and then I ended up fading because of Hunt and just, some salary stuff in my lineup, whatever. But,
right.
Oh, dude, one random observation. Do you feel like there's more masses of players who are using like subscription services and like paying for lineups essentially?
I can see it. There's a lot of options out there.
I feel like cash has been harder and also like chalkier.
Yeah, like everyone's
which
on
tells
the same
me
page.
Like yes. And I don't know
see that.
And so, I don't know, it's kind of annoying, but like that's the name of the game. So we got to figure it out.
You can't blame people.
No, not at all. But like that's part of the game is you're facing the other people, not the house.
I want to go back and just talk my last week's. So I was happy I did cash in the cash lineup, but I had some bad, like my calls last week. I'm apologizing. Hollywood was a whiff. He dropped the touchdown that would have made him close.
Again.
You're killing me, Smalls. Chase was really good. He just didn't score and was 3 yards short or the bonus. So that sucks. That's a huge.
He caught that bomb. That one, who knows? I mean, maybe he could have scored, but really, you couldn't have gotten 3 more yards on that.
I know, man. And then, but the best play was Ricky Seals-Jones. He had over 5 times value. That was him and JT were my leaders.
Okay, I'm big time.
Too obvious, Zach.
I know, and I didn't do it because once again, Hunt. I wanted the 3 running backs. I didn't want to go Eckler and Hunt only. I wanted a third running back. And that third running back I chose Henderson, which, it was a good choice. But I wish I could have played Seals Jones and Kelsey still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was hard. I felt like you had, because you couldn't not play Kelsey. Kelsey didn't really work out, but he was like 2.5 value, so he was fine. But I felt like you had to have both of those tight ends, and it was a perfect stack in that game. I mean, Washington blew it. They didn't hold up their end, but luckily one of the guys that did go off was him. And so, like you say, it's important to go back and kind of talk about our plays. You mentioned JT was one of your plays from last week. You went off.
Eckler was my other. That was big time bad.
Which you mentioned. I wanted to get
and then
mine.
Amon-Ra was my other, and he ended up okay. But they didn't give him the ball till halftime.
It was weird. That was Detroit really shit the bed.
They really Lions that one.
I mean, it's what they do. I mean, we might as well mention it because I'm a Bears fan, and I if you're salty as a Bears fan because Rodgers said he owns you, go pull up your diaper and go sit in the corner. Get over yourself. Because, he does.
Exactly.
Even my cousin friend group, our group chat, they're like, "Oh, did you hear that?" And one of my cousins "Oh, did you hear this?" And then me and my cousin instantly were like, "He ain't wrong." What are we talking about here? Of course he owns us. But then I was talking to my buddy, I have a Minnesota fan and a Lions fan and a Detroit fan at work. And we're all like, dude, he could have said it to any NFC North team. I was like, There is no doubt in my mind he has a better record versus the Lions than he does the Bears. I will stake my claim to that.
Oh, he has to.
He has to. They never beat them because the Bears always beat the Lions.
Yeah.
Anywho, moving on. Sorry, mini TED Talk part 2. Sorry, moving on.
Part 2.
Right. Tournament plays. I love James Conner this play. I'm not gonna play him in cash because he's risky. But James Conner, Houston rush defense blows. He's gotten double-digit carries in 5 of 6 games. He's 5.6. So if he scores and gets those carries, I have zero doubt in my mind. And Houston's gonna be down. So Arizona's going to run, and dude's been vulturing Kyler all, the last 5 weeks. So why would that stop now?
Right.
So he's one of my
it's a
favorites.
Good call. I would not touch him in cash.
No, he's too risky in cash. But then on the bring back, I like either one of Houston's wide receivers. You got Nico for 3.2. He got 6 targets in his first game back. So I think that's a great play. Brandon Cooks is $6K, which is a lot, but dude got 13 targets, 9 for 89 yards last week. Mills is garbage time Mr. Garbage Time 2.0.
I tweeted about this last week that a really sneaky stack would be Mills with Cooks ran back with JT, which I did in a Millie lineup, and that's the one that cashed. And freaking Davis Mills still only got 8 points.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Ridiculous. Cooks was in my cash lineup last week. Loved that play. That's my favorite stack. Do you have a stack for this week?
Yeah, I do. And you kept spoiling it earlier. You jerk.
Yeah, big old jerk.
Look what you did.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
You panda jerk. Making me look stupid.
Get out here.
It's the Rams. We got the revenge game, like you said. And you can't tell me Sean McVay doesn't want to prove to everybody that it's him, not Jared Goff. You know what I mean? And the Lions are bad. We covered that.
Okay.
It's a 14-point spread, which Vegas is usually pretty good about.
Typically.
I didn't look at what their implied team total was, but yeah, I don't know. This has a game where Staff could go for 404 touchdowns,
Mm-hmm. No, I like that
And
play a
then
lot.
you play Cup with him.
Yep.
And then you pick someone else. No, probably Higbee.
Yeah.
They've been using him a lot. Actually, what's his price?
I like some of my solo plays. I like tight ends. I like Goddard if he can play.
Same.
He's vaccinated, so all he needs is the 2 negative tests in like a 24-hour period or something like that. Don't quote me on the rules for COVID. They're confusing.
Yeah.
He's only 4.6, and they traded away Ertz, and they're playing Vegas, who's 24th against tight ends.
Yeah, it says since Goddard is vaccinated, he's eligible to rejoin the team as soon as he submits 2 negative test results at least 24 hours apart.
Mm-hmm.
But then it says the Eagles' decision not to activate him suggests he's still experiencing symptoms of the virus.
Right,
So,
which is what has me worried. Right.
Yeah. So stay tuned.
I also like Pitts. This one's risky though, because he's 5.9. That's a lot.
Yeah.
But he broke out, and now he's had a bye week for them to plan up and scheme up things. Ridley's back, so it's not all on him anymore. And I have to Pitts jersey. He's my guy.
Yeah, I have to give you that. Tight end is just I'm not a fan this week. Yeah, I'll probably play Goddard, but I'll probably play Seals Jones again, to be honest, just because
I have Seals Jones in cash.
Yeah, just because of the price. But yeah, as far as
1.7.
I'm just scrolling through now. Yeah, there's nothing here, man, that's screaming at me. Like I said, I'd probably play Higbee in my Rams stack.
What's his price?
4 or 5.
That's not bad.
But even then, I looked at his game log. His targets, he gets 5 or 6 on a good game, or 1 or 2 on a bad. So,
always a touchdown threat. That's a perfect tourney play.
Yeah, exactly. So that's probably the dude I'll roll.
I do have a fade this week. I'm seeing if I can make it 2 for 2. It's also against the Bears, so maybe I'm just a giant homer. But I'm fading Uncle Lenny. Everybody's slurping him. I'm not a fan of the player. I do not think he's very good.
He's not.
He's 6.4. That's a lot. He's playing the Bears. There's no way he gets value. There's no way he gets 19 points versus the Bears. The Bears are a legit run defense, and they're just like the Bucks are going to beat the Bears because they're going to throw it 40 times, and it's all going to be dink and dunk, Godwin and AB underneath. I do not think. I mean, maybe if he gets I could see him getting 20 yards rushing and scores 2 touchdowns. Maybe he squeaks out value, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, I like the having a fade of the week. I wasn't prepared for that. You really just dropped that on me.
Well, it was my idea last week, and I went with Adams, and I wasn't dropping it after hitting it.
That's true. So next week I'll have one.
Do you want
unless you miss, then we're not doing it.
No, well, no pressure. You might not do it next week, but this guy is. All right.
Okay, moving on. Saxman.
Fucking play 7 sacks, man. Anyway, let's move on to our story time. Our stories have all been nightmares. We haven't hit one, but that's also kind of the point. Not to miss, but to be contrarian.
Yes.
Right. We're trying to hit the 1 out of 100 shots. You know what I mean? We're shooting from half court, and when it hits,
exactly,
that's where you hit the big money. All right.
Yep.
And so we've already mentioned this game. Last week we did Chargers at Baltimore, and that didn't work out great because that was a super weird game. Chargers didn't score, and then Baltimore had 3 rushing touchdowns from the cast of the 2017 top 10 running backs.
Yeah,
more on that later.
Need to get LaShawn McCoy in there. Todd Gurley.
I don't even want to go down this Jordan Howard. Get the hell out of here. But anyway, this week it's gonna hit, so just pay attention now.
This is the one.
We're going to Washington football team at Green Bay. We already mentioned it. We think Green Bay is gonna roll, and when that happens, that puts the other team in a negative gain strip where they're passing a lot, and you can get a lot of like, oh, this dude caught 9 passes for 57 yards, but that's 16 points. You know what I mean? And so we're going with Rodgers and Adams, kind of very chalk up there. But on the other side, bringing back McKissick, your boy, who at the time of story time, I didn't even know you were going to pick him for cash. And then Ricky Seals-Jones again for 3.7K at tight end, which is super clutch that you get a tight end in a stack that you like.
Yes. And I think you should throw Valdez-Scantling in that. Oh, wait, he's hurt, isn't he?
I was going to say Lazard looked pretty good last week against the Bears. I'm not going to play.
Yeah, I forget Valdez-Scantling's on IR. I'm dumb.
But anyway, if you pick those 4 guys, the Green Bay guys are expensive, but the Washington guys aren't. At least you for 25K for running back, 2 wide receivers, flex, and defense.
I like
you
it.
can get pretty creative there.
Yeah, and I'll say that, man, when as a guy who back in the day had Rodgers in our keeper league, and I just like got to watch him every Sunday just throw 5 touchdowns. When it's like one of those Rodgers games, it's so fun when he's your guy.
I disagree.
I'm sorry.
You did have Rodgers forever. We were joking about this the other day about how on principle I've never rostered Aaron Rodgers, never. Just because I don't want to cheer for that, but I have rostered many of his wide receivers because I'm not an idiot.
Yeah, I'm not totally dumb.
Right. So, I think this is a Green Bay week where they eat, and then garbage time for Washington. And so that those guys give you a lot of space. I like that you already have a running back out of the way. I like that you have your tight end, and then you can get really creative with the 2 wide receivers and a flex. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so hopefully we can get off the schneid on our snory time. I'm hoping so. But we'll see.
Stay tuned.
If we hit that a couple of times this year, that'll be clutch. I'll be
yeah, I mean that's what it's all about.
Right. We're like we said, we're trying to hit a half court shot. So we're not.
Yeah, because it's like time. I mean, we talk about you're playing casher when you're gambling. 60% is great. So like something like this, when you're really taking swings at tourneys, 10 to 20 is good. Like,
because it only takes one big hit, as put another chalk line on the chalkboard.
It was you this time. Does it still count?
It does, because
okay,
it came naturally, or
it's true. It did. Mine. Yeah, but anyway, I won $15,000.
He did. I was there. I saw it. I was livid, like not livid. I was like live wired watching the game for you.
It was, oh my God. Yeah. It's like, I'll never forget that night.
I'm still sick. I didn't do small tournaments because one of my lineups beat that lineup.
That was just whack because it was that Seattle, Arizona game last year where Lockett went off, and it was Sunday night, and because it got flexed.
But because it got pushed into the main slate when it wasn't supposed to be.
Remember? No, it was in the main slate, and it got flexed to Sunday night so that it still stayed in.
Okay, I just remember
that's what it was.
It wasn't supposed to be main slate, but then it did count, even though it wasn't in the same game.
Okay. It's because when the prices were released, it was there, and then once it got flexed, they had to keep it.
That's right. That's
and so and then it went to overtime, and it's like 12:30, and then I won, and then I was just straight up wired for like an hour.
I love you, my friend. That was amazing.
It was great. So much fun.
Would you say you were cooking?
Oh yeah.
Oh, all right. Let's get to some more cooking. So the last time, we already mentioned this, the last time Le'Veon Bell, Devonta Freeman, and Latavius Murray all got TDs in the same week, it was week 15 of 2017.
It's insane.
I was so mad at someone who had Lamar in cash that he got vultured so many times by these stupid geriatric running backs.
Yeah, it wasn't even like you were getting vultured by like someone good. They did a jet sweep with a Hollywood, and it was a handoff and not a shovel or something,
Right. Yeah. Damn. Like, you couldn't throw at least one of them? Jesus. So yeah, I was big mad about that, especially then because Hollywood's drop came after at least 2 of those rushing touchdowns. It was
Not
ridiculous.
good.
But yeah, so props to them. Way to be octogenarians scoring touchdowns. um, Cooking is the Russ is corny and extra guys. I've never really been one of these guys. I've always been a big fan of Russ, just because his gameplay is so much fun to watch. But dude, how are you on Sunday Night Football when you know all the cameras are on you and you're not even playing? How are you doing your pregame warm up, like doing fake throws with your busted finger? On top of that, taking a knee to simulate the huddle. How extra are you, man?
Yeah, I love how he like rolls out and he does the thing and then he runs down like he's in the 2-minute drill. Like what to me, like, what was the end game going into that exercise? What did he say to himself? Like, this, I am going to be better by doing this because blank.
No, he straight up just did it to be extra.
Yeah.
And he did the coin toss in overtime. Like, let the people playing get their shine.
Right.
Like,
yeah, I thought that was kind of weird.
I wasn't about you.
I didn't watch that game, but I saw like a clip of the coin toss, and I saw he was standing there. I was like, what the hell is he doing out there?
I fell asleep because that game sucked.
Yeah.
It got better, I guess, towards the end, but I fell asleep.
It got better.
It got better. Next is this one was great. I can't even lie. This is extra, but in the best way. So Carmelo in the opening game, he did a pump fake for the free throw line. I've never seen that, and neither had any of the other players on the court.
Saying everybody did it
because everybody jumped into the lane to go get the rebound.
Who gets fouled for that?
I have no idea. I just saw the clip and couldn't contain myself. I couldn't even hear what they were saying. It was amazing. Melo never changed. You're the GOAT. The last cookie we got is just Joel Embiid saying, "Fuck this dude, Ben Simmons."
Yeah, I don't care about that.
I'm sure you've heard so much. I'm sure everybody's seen everything. We don't need to add to it, but just I've always been a fan of Embiid, just saying exactly how it is. And
yes,
I got to be so frustrated being like as good as a player as Embiid is, and this dude's afraid to shoot. Yeah, like really, you're gonna make it about you, and you're the problem.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Practicing with his cell phone in his pocket, just ridiculous. Dude is booking.
Yeah. The Jags are cooking. Sorry, have to. They ended the losing streak. It's over.
It ain't 21, and they got stopped at 20.
I was so happy. But for real though, the sequence to end the game was whack. So
you were post-coital.
Yeah. They're calling it the slider play that to LaVisca that got the first down and the timeout and stuff. When they were setting up, so it looked like they were going to do the Hail Mary, and I was like,
there was like 4 seconds left.
It was 5, yeah.
5.
And I was like, I would rather them try to get the first down and get out of bounds or get a timeout in 5 seconds than try a Hail Mary. Like, to me, the likelihood of doing what they did was higher than completing a Hail Mary.
So I thought they were going to do Hail Mary 100%. And then the announcer was like, oh, well, maybe they'll do the Hail Mary or they'll throw underneath and do a bunch of laterals. I'm like, no, they will not throw underneath and throw a bunch of laterals. The game is tied. If they screw up, that's a touchdown going the other way. I'm like, there's no way they're throwing underneath. And then they hiked it and threw underneath, but in a totally different way.
Here's what happened. Trevor said after the game that Dolphins were lined up they lined up for the Hail Mary. Mm-hmm. Dolphins called timeout. Dolphins come out of the timeout with their super boundaries and end zone coverage. And that's when they saw that, they I don't know who called it, but someone called out to the helmet and was like, yo, we're doing this. Because they said it's something they practice all the time. Okay. So once the Dolphins showed that like super max sideline end zone protect coverage, they were like, screw it, let's go for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked. I mean,
yeah, it was brilliant. They definitely. I was mad. J-Rob, which isn't his fault. It was play calling's fault. He finished 7 yards short of making me over $100.
yeah,
I had I had 2 same game parlays that relied on his yardage total, so that was a huge bummer.
Yeah, they're booking for the criminal usage of James Robinson.
How did they not just roll all over that Miami shitty ass defense?
I know, and dude. The thing I love about Robinson is he like never gets tackled for loss. It's like he gets hit, and then even like there was a run against the Dolphins Sunday morning where he like got gobbled up a yard back, and then like was able to wiggle and get to the yard, and then once he got to the yard, he got stuffed again and was able to push to like 3 or 4.
I remember one where I was like out of shotgun and he got eaten up immediately, and he was moving laterally and he was like 2-3 yards deep, and he was just able to like power to get a yard, which I know isn't a big deal, but like that's just man strength,
Yes.
2-3 dudes, and you're moving laterally and you still able to push 2-3 yards. That's 9 feet. That's a long way.
And it's so much awareness for the game too.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're definitely cooking. Colin Cowherd, he is not cooking. He is booking constantly. Ever since he moved to Fox, he just went like full troll mode, which is fine, but you kind of have to keep track of what you're saying.
That's true. And this is like one thing I'm sorry to jump at you here, but like, I don't know, we don't tweet a lot. We don't like go out here and just throw shit at the wall, because for what you're exactly about to say is because when we really go out there for something, it's because we're really convicted on it. We're not just throwing takes for takes,
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, you turn into Colin Cowherd.
Yeah, and he's just saying whatever's hot at the moment, he'll just say. And so he's saying, because people were down on Mahomes, because he has a lot of picks. I think he's up there with Wilson and Larry as the top in the league. And he's laughing at people saying Mahomes win all these Super Bowls. They're lining it up. When 2 years ago, that's exactly what he was fucking saying. Like, dude,
he said they were gonna like go to 8 or something like that.
Right. And it's like, it's one thing to like change your opinion, but you have to at least be like, yo, hand up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you just like, I changed my mind. This is what I think now. Then you'd be like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Based on what I'm seeing now, like
that's being an intelligent person. You change your mind. That's fine. And I get it. He's just like saying stuff. He's talking and it doesn't matter what he says. But at the same time, like it does matter what you're saying. When people are listening to you, it matters what you're saying. So shout out to Funhouse.
Yeah, so shut up, man.
Funhouse is really good at finding stuff like that. They go back and they find tapes of him and other talking heads that just.
It's like the freezing takes exposed Twitter account.
Yeah, you gotta, they gotta keep track of stuff. And the next book hurts me. I think it hurts you too, Zach. Jonnu Smith.
Yes. I'm big mad about this.
Me too, and so is our boy. Shout out Ross. He going into last Sunday, he had 15 routes and 4 targets in the previous 2 games, and then on Sunday, he got 2 more targets and 1 catch versus Dallas in a game where that was like high scoring. Like, it's just so frustrating. Why did they sign him? Why did he agree to go there? Like, did he just go after the bag? Because I get it if he did, but like, you're never gonna get another bag. Like, he just got it's just so frustrating to be. Like,
it is.
He's so good.
Because he was a big target for the Jags in free agency, and the Patriots, gave him the bag, which at the time I was like, oh damn, the Patriots they're getting weird again, cool. But then they're not doing it. Why did they sign the guy if it makes no sense to me? It's so stupid.
It's infuriating. And like, I was someone a couple years ago, 2019, I traded for Delaney Walker, and Walker got hurt like really early in the season. And so I picked up Jonnu Smith. And then like, he wasn't really doing much, but I was like watching him. I was like, dude, this dude can play. Like, he's crazy athletic. Let's go. And then he kind of like developed into like a really solid like tight end. And then he was a free agent. I'm like, let's see what happens. And then he gets a huge money contract. He was the first tight end. They signed him before Henry. And now it's the Henry show. It's so annoying.
You're right. I forgot he signed first.
Yeah. I think he has more money than Henry too.
I think you're right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It's super annoying.
And, you know, I remember just watching Jags-Titans games, same thing, where I'm like, yo, this guy's good.
Like, doing little jet sweeps from the tight end is, like, so rare. And, like, he would bust it for, like, 50 yards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he just did different stuff.
I know. I hate when you see a guy who, like, you could just picture someone being so creative with, or you could just imagine how good he could be somewhere, and then watching that shit happen.
It's just a waste of talent, and I don't blame him at all. Other than signing there without like being like, hey, like, you're gonna help me get my next contract, right?
Yeah.
So that's a bummer. He's too good for what his usage is. The last one's Chris Broussard. Speaking of coward, another clown. You want to take this one, Zach? This is your baby child.
Yeah. So Monday night, Taylor Lewan gets hurt. I'm sure a lot of people have seen this one. But Chris Broussard, also Fox, and he used to be a basketball guy, right? Mm-hmm. For ESPN. Mm-hmm. So he's now doing everything, I guess, whatever. But he's out here ripping the loss because the Bills lost Taylor Lewan to a concussion, and the left tackle gets blown up on the QB sneak on 4th down, and like everybody screws up. I was listening to Jags. I listen to Jags radio every day out of Jacksonville, and they were talking afterwards about how, like, even on the Monday night broadcast, one of the guys called Josh Allen Ryan Tannehill, or, you know, it happens.
Right. Everyone's going to mess up.
But my guy not only says it, he like doubles down, triples down on it. He just keeps going in on about how that loss of the left tackle and the backup left tackle sucked. And oof, man.
It was such a bad play call to go with that, with down tackle. And Lewan, if you don't know, plays for the Titans, not the Bills. Not to mention left tackle. How does the left tackle factor into a QB sneak? I don't know that.
I saw a tweet that made me laugh. It was like, maybe now I think it was like maybe Buffalo can try and trade for Eddie George at running back.
Yeah, like
something like that.
Buffalo should have given it to Eddie George.
That's what it. Yeah,
Josh Allen. No, I saw that. That was good. Like we said with Coward, it's fine to mess up. We mess up all the time. Everyone messes up. Like, nobody's perfect. Just say hand up. My bad. Like, you don't have to be egomaniac where you can't mess up. Like, okay, you're cool. You're Mr. Perfect. All right. Whatever. Let's move on to Blitzball because we got a bunch of clown shows. So let's get into our clown segment.
Yeah.
All right. This is your birth child again.
Okay.
You go first.
All right. You get next week though, for sure. Cause I'm on a roll.
We got our play. I already got mine.
I do remember now. Yeah. Anyways, ridiculous things to buy if you won the Powerball, and I'm talking ridiculous, like ridiculous, not like a mansion.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I'm gonna buy a Ferrari. No, ridiculous things that people look at you like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But they're awesome.
And here we go with my 101.
I want to hear it.
Enough socks that I can wear a new pair every day the rest of my life.
You son of a bitch. We've talked about that before, but I forgot. Dude, there is literally nothing better than a fresh pair of socks. I bought one like 2 weeks ago before my trip. So I'm like, I'm kind of rolling with socks. Fuck it. I'm just going to buy some new ones. There's nothing better. They're so fresh.
I know. I just bought some new ones too recently, and that's what made me think of it.
It feels like your feet are like an ocean breeze.
Yeah.
Dude, that's such a good play.
Yeah. And that's what spurred this whole segment. And I feel pretty okay about my other 2 selections, but I just felt so strong about this that it just had to be here.
Dude, honestly, I think you just won. I'm
I
not gonna
know.
play.
I know.
That is such a good one. I would love, and like you can even be magnanimous about it and like donate them after you're done. Because at
Yeah.
one use, that's like a brand new pair of socks, but
Yeah.
they're not brand new.
Yeah, because you could tell.
All right,
maybe not to the untrained foot.
So my top pick was like a giant outdoor projector, but since you have like so much money, you have like a convertible style like cover that you can put out over it and
Oh
like
yeah.
rises up recliner seats and stuff like that, and so that you can like watch like Red Zone and stuff like that, and you can have it set up that like like you have like Red Zone in the middle, but then all the games on the outside, or like a giant movie screen and stuff like that, like one of the ones where it's like a bunch of screens put together. How dope would that be?
Yeah, that's cooler than mine, because mine was gonna be like just a badass like theater room of some sort, with like a shitload of TVs and like all the cool like anything you could ever want in it. But yours is better.
But you could like host parties and stuff like that. That'd be so cool, right? You have like barbecue on the outside.
Yeah.
Like how awesome would that be? All right, that was my 101, but I had to go 102 because it was your idea.
Yeah.
201. This is another outlandish one.
Yeah.
I would buy like a facility, like maybe like an old playground or something like that. And it would become a puppy/dog rescue spa, where it's like,
this is great.
You need to you can't handle your dog or whatever, you're a bad owner or whatever. Give us your dogs. I have a staff. We're gonna keep them loaded. Like you can pay an admission and come hang out with these dogs. These dogs.
Give us your dogs.
Right. Like I'm making money off this on top of like saving all these dogs, because like I don't have a dog, but I love dogs. And I just don't want the responsibility to take care of a dog.
Fair. Yeah.
And so this would be such a cool thing where like, hey, I'm gonna go hang out with these dogs for a little bit and then I'm gonna peace out. And I'm saving dogs from like euthanasia and stuff like that.
Yeah. So this is really funny because mine is like very similar in a way. I would pay to sponsor zoo exhibits that I got to go and behind the scenes and do fun stuff with, like feed the rhino or something.
Yeah. I love that. That's great.
And then if I had one, that's like a little more mundane, is it would be like the coolest badass backyard like you were talking about, but like from like a really cool pool and like outdoor kitchen and like seating area, and like I love like chilling on a nice outdoor patio like that,
like the ultimate barbecue set.
Exactly. Like that's
you got a pool, barbecue, outdoor theater, little jungle gym, maybe a foam pit with like a cover so you don't have to worry about the weather and shit.
Yeah. Bunk beds.
Bunk beds? So much room for activities.
I know.
All right.
Insane.
All right, so now I'm on 302, so it's the last share. This is a very homer pick. I would buy the majority share of Jameson Distillery. That's my favorite alcohol. I'm Irish. I love Jameson. It's my favorite, and it's like a Ron Swanson buying Lagavulin.
I was just about to say, would you take like a Ron Swanson pilgrimage?
That's 100% what I would do. And I wouldn't change anything. I would just be in charge so I can make that money, and then on top of that, just have Jameson on tap whenever I want.
Yum.
Let's go.
Yeah, one of my potential ideas was like a really cool like beer system in my house.
Yeah, straight up.
But like goes bad.
It could be a problem. It could be a problem.
Yeah.
Right. Do you have any honorable mentions? Because I have two.
No, my outdoor setup was my honorable.
All right, so I saw that an MLS team costs on average about $350 million. I live in Indianapolis. Indy 11 already has like a fan base. I would love to buy that and just go to all the games and just be like Mark Cuban and just like love that shit. I love soccer. I played soccer all growing up. That would be so cool.
They're in the MLS now? I thought they were in the league below.
I could be dead wrong. I would make them. I would buy the players to make us go up. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Dude, real talk though, like Shad Khan's son, Tony.
He's awesome.
I know. He pretty much runs AEW and Fulham. Like this guy just gets to go run a soccer team and a professional wrestling league. He's like not that much older than us, I don't think.
No, and he's like the analytics guy for the Jaguars too.
Yeah. It wouldn't shock me if he's the GM one day.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. Dude is brilliant. He goes on like podcasts, stuff like that. Like shout out Levitard show. That's one of my favorite shows. He's been on a couple times. He's just a really cool dude. Really, really cool.
He needs to get out of Fulham though, because he's in over, so he doesn't know what he's doing. He's going like full analytics on it when he has no feel for soccer at all.
I can see that.
And like I feel like you need to at least have some mix there. I feel like baseball is probably like the only sport you could like full in go analytics on.
Yeah, probably.
Because like I think every other individualized sport.
That's what I was gonna say. Because it's so individualized, where it's a batter versus a pitcher. It's a pitcher versus a batter. And like obviously fielding matters too, but like soccer, football, like you gotta be in a team. Basketball, I did have one more, and this is a very selfish one you wouldn't like. I would want an Alfred. I want someone to drive me everywhere. I want someone. I know you like driving. I want someone to cook me everything. I know you like cooking. I'm not sure about cleaning. I hate cleaning. I just like a boy to be like, hey, let's watch this, and he's be like, okay, but like I wouldn't be a douche about it. But you know what I mean. But like at the same time, like you're on my side. You know what I mean. So basically, just like I want a personal dude. Like a
mine would be named Chives.
Chives. I would go with Clyde. That was always a favorite name for me growing up.
All right.
I would change his name to Clyde. But yeah, so that's Blitzball. Ridiculous things we'll buy if we ever win the lottery, which we won't, because I don't play the lottery.
Me neither. Well, we kind of do, but
the
sports lottery.
But like not like $1 billion lottery.
Yeah.
Although sometimes when it gets like crazy, stupid big and people are talking about it, I'm like, all right, I'll throw a couple bucks.
Yeah, I'll go buy a ticket.
I might as well just burn a couple singles with the lighter and just enjoy that. That's more fun. But
yeah, one time I did it, and then I had to ask in our group chat, and I was like, all the numbers on my card are in order, like numerical order. Why aren't none of the balls are? I'm so confused. And then I think Badge was like, it doesn't matter. It's like you just, and I was like, oh, I thought you had to like get them in a row too.
Yeah, I don't know shit about the lottery.
I still don't even know if that's right. I could have just made something up.
I have the app though on my phone. I have I have 2 prepaid tickets with some of my favorite numbers. They're mostly athlete jerseys and like 3 and 33 because that's my 3 is my favorite number.
Did you see the I favorited the tweet, but it was the Monday Night Football game's attendance was 69,419. And someone said, don't ever let anyone tell you one person doesn't make a difference.
Same goddamn page. So one of my buddies at work, so I do car rider duty, and one day a week I have to stay late, and the time I have to stay to is 4:20. And so she walks by, she would go, hey, it's almost 4:20. Y'all got to move into the the main office because that's when I leave. And then like she walked by again, and I was like, hey, it's 4:20, let's go. She saw me, she's like, yo, I hear you keep talking about 4:20. What's up with that?
That's awesome.
Not to mention I walk around there, and so I don't drink coffee, but I drink the soda every day. And so I have a koozie that's a dare koozie. Say no to drugs. It's always a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Guan. Guan. Sean Kingston, fire burning. Let's go. Hey. So we got one Guan. Unless you're going to surprise me, and it's Myles Garrett. He's good.
Very good. Yes.
Just good at football.
Should have picked him for Defensive Player of the Year.
I picked him. I didn't bet on it though, sadly.
Idiot.
But straight up, I wasted all my money on best ball picks that aren't going well.
Yeah.
Moving on. So off the field, he's also a Guan. So did you see the picture of him? He's putting up tombstones in his front yard of all the quarterbacks he sacked for Halloween. How amazing is that? I love it. And like, shout out Short King. I love him to death.
I was just about to say this.
The Kyler Murray one is really, really small.
oh, there's more.
All right.
Did you see their post-game conversation? They were talking after the game, and Kyler was like, "Yo, man, why you gotta put me in the graveyard?" And he's like, "What?" He's like, "Why did I gotta be in the graveyard?" He's like, "Oh man, I forgot what Miles says." And he's like, "Yeah, but I didn't write rest in peace on yours. You're too good or something."
You're too good.
Yeah,
I love it.
Like it was a really like really wholesome, funny exchange between the two of them.
Game respects game.
Yeah, exactly. Because like all the other quarterbacks, he had put RIP above, but Kyler's he didn't.
Sadly, I saw why didn't he put up 4.5 field tombstones? Mean. Fields has to deal with Nagy people.
Yeah, It's not fair.
The second one I wanted to put up that he is the leader in sacks and pressures. So whether you're old school, you love him, or new school analytics, you goddamn love him.
Yeah, there's nothing. And he got drug tested again this week.
It's because his arms look like legs.
I know, but it's like 2 weeks in a row they keep testing the guy because he like you said, it looks like my guy's got spiral hams in his biceps.
His arms are so big. He needs to wear sleeves. It's scary.
Yeah,
honestly.
He needs to go back to the sleeve game. Stop the controversies.
I would. You gotta hide those pythons. Don't let the guns show. Everyone's gonna be on you, man.
Yeah.
That's all I got, my friend.
One last thought.
One leftover thought.
I see what you did there. Do you remember watching the Jags game? And there's a couple times Jags would get a first down and they would show Trevor running up to the line and he was like milking the cow. Do you see this?
No, I was very confused because you put in the chat that he was milking udders. I'm like, I must have just like right over my head.
I saw it. I saw it like 3 times where he's running and he's doing this while he's going down the field. I'm like, why is he milking the cow? What is happening? That's all I got. That was very confusing.
Yeah. There wasn't an answer to it. It's just
no. I thought maybe you knew, and then you didn't know.
I mean, maybe he's jacking up 2 dicks. I mean, who knows? Maybe he's got 2.
If that's how he gets himself going to play damn good football, then let's go.
We don't kink shame on this podcast.
No,
not
at all. So,
and if he's going to go the Larry hair flip like that, who are we to judge?
Gets me every time. I mean,
no.
And I mean, look, whether that's your thing or if it's, getting grinded on at the bar and swiping your credit card, if that's your thing, that's fine too. All right.
And with that, we are out.
Bye.